I am ready for lesson 21 in cursive handwriting. Are you ready? In our next 5 lessons, I will continue to introduce the cursive capital letters. We'll finish the alphabet in the next 5 lessons. We will also continue to write a few words and connect them, and we will write some sentences to expand the flow of our cursive writing into text. So let's get started. And we'll take our colored pencil, and our next letter, our capital letter, is L. So I'm going to write a lowercase one because I really want you to see how it looks against the lowercase. And then I'm going to write a capital in manuscript. Manuscript is the printed form. Okay, there, that'll show up. Good. Now, watch me as I do it. I'm going to take my pencil, and you start just about, just a short ways down from the top, and we're going to come over and loop it back, come down, and make a loop, kind of like the loop we made on the D, and then make the long line. See, there's a long line here. We're going to incorporate that now. So we come down, and we make the loop, and there it is. And you want that to rest on the baseline. So go ahead and pick up your pencil and make one right on top of your lowercase l. Now watch me make it on top of the capital. There. Pick yours up and make it on top of the capital. Now try making one right beside it without any help. Try another one. Good. Now you can practice more of those later on your time. Okay, take your colored pencil and let's make the lowercase m, the letter M, and then make the capital M that most of us have learned to print. Yours might be a little bit different than that, but they're all basically the same form. Okay, so when we make the capital M, we're going to go up at the top, start with just a little bit of a, I'm going to call it a bump. That's what we've been calling it whenever we go into the letter M or into the letter N in the lowercase. Remember, we have a bump that we do. So we're going to do that little bit of a bump. It'll start right about there, just like the L started about there. That's where we do. And I bump, and then I come down. I go all the way back up to make the curve, and I go all the way back up to make the curve. So it's just the M made bigger. Okay? And now you go ahead and put that on your paper. Now watch me as I make one again. I'm going to go down. See, I get the bump. I make the curve, come all the way back down to the baseline, come all the way back down to the baseline, and then you extend. And you can choose to connect this, whenever you extend like this, to the next letter that comes in your writing. The same thing with the L. You can connect it to the next letter if you want to. That's what cursive is all about. It's about the connectedness. It's about the curving. All of that supports it to be a quicker way to write. Doesn't feel like it when you're learning, but it will be. Okay, now our next one. Oh yeah, let's just go ahead and make another one. Yes, now we do need to pick up our blue pencil or your colored circling pencil and circle your best one in the capital L's and circle your best one in the capital M. Now we're ready to make the next one, which you've guessed is the letter N. There. And make its capital. Now, just like we had the little bit of a bump with the letter M, we're going to have a little bit of a bump. And we pull all the way down, push back up and curve, and then make our connecting curve there. Okay, did you make one? Good. Now make one on your capital. Look at yours and look at mine. Notice I don't really touch that top line. I come very close to it. When you write on this type of lined paper, you want to where there's just line after line after line, you want to come just below that top line. And then you want to work to get your letters to rest on the baseline. You make one more. There. Take your circling pencil and circle your best one. Now you'll need to practice those some more. They don't just come because you do them once or twice or 3 times. Okay. Now I want you to look at, let's print the word and, the conjunction and. A-N-D. Leave some space and write the word R-A-R-E. And then leave some space and write the word good, G-O-O-D. Then put your pencil down. Now I want to point something out to you here. The first letter, when we write cursive, the first letter sometimes gives us an option of one of 2 ways of starting that word. We could, if we want to, we could start with it just right there at 2 on the clock. See, there it is, 2 on the clock, 2 on the clock. We could start right there when we write the cursive, watch me. And we just go like this, bump, and. In other words, we don't have to have this connection when we start the word with an A. So we can start it like this. And the same thing with good. We can start it right there if we want to. And you may write yours. If you want to do it this way, it is okay. There's nothing wrong. It's your choice. But you want to develop and be consistent. Now we have, see, so you could start like that if you want. Now the letter A, let's talk about the letters that do this. The letter A, the letter C, D, G, and O. Those are the ones that we start here at 2, and if they begin our word, we have the option of not making that first connecting line, of just doing this. It's your choice. All right. Now, we're going to print a sentence, and I'm going to give it to you word by word, and we're going to write each one of the words. We're going to print the word, and then we're going to do the cursive, and then we're going to print the next word, do the cursive, and keep going through the sentence that way. Okay, so our first word, we're going to use some proper nouns here because I want you to practice your capitals. So we're going to start with the word Larry, L-A-R-R-Y, and then put a comma after that. Okay? Pick up your pencil. Remember to think. You've got your capital L at the top of your page, or watch me as I do it. And then I'm going to go right into Larry's name. See, I'm going to keep it connected. And then I'm going to upswing. And there we go. Okay, so now we're going to do our next word. It's Maria, Larry, Maria, M-A-R-I-A, and put a comma. And then let's go take our regular pencil and we're going to bump into the M, make a capital, and then stay right down there on that baseline and curve up to 2, and then upswing, shortcut, upswing, make your I, upswing curve, and make your A. And dot your I, put a comma. We're going to write the word and, A-N-D, Now let's make our cursive. We're going to start at 2. I'm going to start it at 2. We make our A, upswing and bump, make your N, upswing curve, make your D. Now we're going to make, the next name is going to be Nancy. So we're going to make a capital N, A, N, C, Y. Okay, pick up your pencil, bump, and make your capital N, and keep your pencil down and go to the upswing curve to 2 to make the A, upswing bump, make your N, upswing curve, make a C, upswing, make a Y, and cross that baseline. Make sure that your tails are crossing beneath the baseline. The tails do not go above that baseline. So now we have Larry, Maria, and Nancy R. We'll write the word R, A-R-E. Again, this is one that starts at 2 that we talked about. So I'm going to start at 2. I'm going to write A, upswing, shortcut, come down the baseline, upswing, make my E. I'm going to go to the next line. I'm going to write the word friends. Now, I see I have a tail there. So I'm going to kind of judge my writing so my D doesn't end up in the tail. So you kind of judge that in with your eye as you're coming down. So I'm going to go, if I do, I think I'll miss it. If I do F, R, I, E, N, oh good, D, S, and then put a period. See how I did that? I just give myself a little bit of space on the margin, spread it over a little bit. Because if I'd had it close to the margin, my D would have ended up in there. It's okay if it does. It's just harder to read. Okay, upswing, starting point, make an F, come down, pinch that tail in at the baseline, upswing, shortcut R, upswing, make an I, upswing, make an E, upswing, bump, make the N, upswing curve, make a D, upswing, shortcut your S, and there, and I put my period in and dot my I. And there it is. Now what I want you to do for practice, you can do one of two things. You can print it again in color and then write over the whole thing in cursive. Okay? And then you have room. You can try just looking at it, and as you look at it, just write in cursive without any help. And then wherever you need help, put your printed in and do your cursive over it. But remember, your goal is to keep the line, keep your letters on the baseline. Don't make them too big because you don't want them over the halfway point, the lowercase, and keep your tails below that baseline. You're doing a great job. That completes our work in Lesson 21, and you do need to practice it now on your own time some.